And good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the first race here in the Oreo All-Star Race for Season 5. Seth Cole being joined here by the NNSCRA Vice President, Dylan Poteet, for the second year in a row. Dylan, thanks for joining me.
Yeah, it's good to be here. I'm glad to be taking part in this for the second season in a row and really looking forward to this. We got a small field. It's going to be something different, but don't expect the action to tone down at all from last season. Should be a great race here today at M&M's again.
Yeah, and it's only a 19-truck field, and that includes all the drivers that got in by finishing first, second in the open race, as well as the fan vote winner. And it really did surprise me, too, because last season was the last season we had where the three divisions of mobile, three divisions of Snickers, but not that many returning drivers this season able to be eligible here in this race. So with a smaller field, what do you think? Are we going to have still the same level of racing as far as aggressiveness, or is it going to be a little bit calmer?
I mean, there's a chance it's going to be a lot calmer, but with these drivers, I mean, there's still a possibility of a big one happening, even though the field's pretty much been cut in half at least. But I don't expect much less from last season. I feel like we're going to have more green flag laps, but don't hold my word to that because we might wreck on lap one and turn one.
This field's got kind of a cornucopia of drivers, from seasoned veterans as well as to rookies making their first starts here in an all-star race, including the pole sitter Danica Shirley, who won back at Phoenix. And then you got Sean Galligan lined up beside her, a veteran, a two-time winner this season. And you got a whole list of rookies back there. You got Bob Jones back there, Christopher Martin, Sky Commons. How are the rookies going to be able to match up against the veterans today? Are they going to have more nerves, make more mistakes, or is making the All-Star race a sign that they are suddenly starting to enter into their veteran status?
Well, I think that with them being in here with the veterans, I think it gives them a big time boost of confidence knowing that they're racing with the veterans. They know where they belong, and it gives them all this momentum and everything. And I think they're not going to be that nervous. I think they're going to step up. We had a lot last season step up, and I think this season won't be any different. I don't think they're going to be very scared to tussle with these veterans today, and I wouldn't be surprised if one of the rookies actually won today in this truck all-star race.
Yeah, it's almost, I believe, kind of equal between however many rookies there are in this field and how many veterans there are. And let's talk about the difference that a year makes. The last time that we were here for the Oreo Truck Series All-Star race, Anthony McCurry ended up being the one who flew into the air. We had the joke of him going to see the Wizard of Oz. This season, he comes in, he wins the Oreo Open, and he's here again for the second straight season in the Oreo Truck Series All-Star race. A year just seems to completely change the perspective of how a driver does at one particular track.
Yeah, it really does. I don't think we're going to see him do that again. Anthony probably did learn a lot from last season outside of that wreck, and he had a different situation to get in. He had to drive his way in through the open, so Anthony might have a shot at it this year. I think he does. He showed them speed and everything in the open, so I wouldn't be surprised to see Anthony McCurry up there at the front at the closing stages of this race.
Well, Anthony McCurry is in this race, and the car he actually went flying with is in this race as well. Our Daytona winner, Nick Eggleston, in that 98. We're going to have these cars peel off as the command to fire the engine's been given. When they do that, we'll show you the starting grid. Then we'll come back for our picks to see who we think is going to be able to close the deal here at the end of this 20-lap event. So we're getting ready to go under the green flag as the lights are out atop the pace truck. They're on the back straightaway, so we got half a lap to be able to give our picks. Pretty much of an unusual situation here. Both of us, as co-commentators, have our drivers down on the racetrack. Dylan Poteet starting there in third and Seth Cole starting in ninth. But Dylan, your pick to win today's event.
It's going to be a tough one, but I'm going to go on a limb, and I'm going to say that James McLeod somehow is going to win this in the 30. I don't know how, but he seems to always be there at the end of these restrictor plate races. If he's not in it, then, or if he's usually in the race, he usually is up there battling for the win. So I'm going to go with James on this one in the 30.
Okay, I think I'm going to pick the guy starting in the fourth position, Nick Eggleston. He ended up winning in his return to the Truck Series at Daytona. And the last time he was in an all-star race, he actually was in all three all-star races back in Season 2, I believe it was, and he finished really well in all three of those events, nearly won in all three of them. So I think Nick Eggleston could work some magic here in the 98. It's also got restrictor play experience with winning at Daytona. As here we go, getting ready for the green. Let's turn it over to Dylan.
All right, boy, we're gonna go green here. Boogity, boogity, boogity. Let's go racing, boys and girls.
And that car right there, that truck number 3, you're pretty familiar with that. Went to victory lane with it twice last season.
Yeah.
Gotta be pretty interesting for Dylan Poteet there, lined up right behind that 3 truck. Gotta be thinking of old memories from season 4.
Yeah, but I think Dylan's moved on from Coca-Cola and moved to Great Clips, and he's doing a pretty good job right now. I think, yep, he doesn't want him to, or her to stay out front. He's gonna move Shirley up the track.
Ooh, here comes Bob Jones, gonna make it 3 wide here. Now we've seen him go 3-way, we've seen him go 4 wide. They can make it stick just as long as they don't really crowd each other coming out of turn 4 and out of turn 2.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen that happen before, and usually causes trouble, and they're really close right now.
Wow.
Wow.
That was awfully close. And I'm seeing the guys that started at the back, the transfer drivers. Jackson, Caps, and McCurry, they're all on that inside line. They're almost into the top 10 already.
What's so good about these restrictor plate races is that it doesn't take long to go from the front to the back, so it's not really a worry for these drivers to drop back. I mean, some of it might be strategy, but if you want to go to the front, it doesn't take long to get up there. You just follow a line, you go straight to the front like some of these drivers like from the back.
We're noticing right now that it seems like the rookies are wanting to take their turn out in front. The veterans are starting to slide to the back. The top 3 right now comprised of rookies who have won this season. Christopher Martin won at Auto Club. Bob Jones, a former winner, he won back at Michigan. And then, of course, Danica Shirley. So is this a matter of experience versus inexperience with rookies trying to get to the front as soon as possible?
Yeah, I mean, it could be. They're probably pretty antsy to get to the front. I mean, they know being up front is probably the safest place to be, and they don't want to drop back. Maybe not being in a situation like this that often, they don't want to put other drivers in jeopardy, so that's why they're going straight to the front. But right now, they're holding their own right now, and they're all doing good.
Jacob Cook now going to go to the lead, but here comes Maggie Vidarvo, and here comes Anthony McCurry. I mean, he's got an edge up on the rest of these guys. I mean, the rest of these guys, with the exception of Jackson and Caps, they haven't run their trucks here yet in a big pack like this. Anthony McCurry, who won the Open, he's got a little bit of an advantage with a little bit more experience of what's going to go on here in a big pack of trucks.
Yeah, Anthony's really done good so far this weekend. He's really had a truck to be watching, even for the All-Star race. He looked like almost a block from the Open. He was just so fast, and Anthony's doing a great job today once again.
Whoa, one car just shot down towards the apron. It was a yellow car. I think it might have been Jake Rogers.
I think it was as well.
Oh, yes, it was, and Seth Cole. The 2 of them have gotten together.
Yeah, that was a big-time deal right. Oh, wow, there's a lot of damage to both those trucks, especially on the 22 right now.
Yeah, Jake Rogers and his teammate out in front here, Sean Galligan. How ironic is that?
That looked like Talladega all over again, except Jake didn't wreck this, or he wrecked this time.
Yeah, I mean, how ironic. Think about this. You got Sean Galligan leading the race, the 2 drivers involved, Seth Cole and Jake Rogers. You go back to Talladega, those 3 finished in the top 3 at the line.
The irony.
Wow. Sean Galligan, the leader. Sean Galligan, a 2-time winner this season. So he is there. Matthew Rodriguez will be 2nd. Chris Dollerton 3rd, McCurry 4th, and Rod Houston 5th. But I'll tell you what, that 22 car, I don't know just exactly how hard the hit was for Seth Cole, but I saw the 22. He shot like a bullet down towards the inside of the track.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of damage you see on both those trucks. And it's just a tough break for both Jake and Seth right there. Their days are probably going to be done early, and Jake is behind the wall now, and Seth might be joining them soon. So tough break for both those teams. Both had a good shot at winning today, and it unfortunately ends early.
Yeah, and the last thing I want to do is go and look at a replay coming out of turn 4, because a lot of times here at this track, that entrance to pit road, the entrance of the pit wall, sometimes comes into play. And you know, I don't want to be predicting anything here, but I certainly hope that's not going to be the case. We're going to take a look at a replay of our first caution of the day. Well, here's a look at what happened. Yeah, they crowded each other off turn 4. Seth Cole going to slide up into Jake Rogers, and it doesn't look that bad here in the slow-mo of our replay cam, but he went down hard into that wall. Oh, my goodness.
Can you say Steve Park and Dale Earnhardt Jr. from Pocono 2002?
You know, it really does look like that. And I
Except
think they actually hit it. I don't think they hit it where the wall is completely at a 90-degree angle from the track. I think they hit it where that little angle is.
Yeah, I mean, Jake hit that pretty hard. And I wouldn't say Seth did either, but, I mean, they both just slammed the wall. And
Let's rewind it, see if we can get a better camera angle, because those two, they kind of went behind the wall there. Oh, this would be a good camera angle, I think.
Oh yeah,
See right
definitely. You'll
here.
see where they go.
Oh yeah,
There's
right
nothing.
there, right at the apex of the
Ooh.
wall.
Yeah, there's nothing. Once you're hooked together, Seth had nothing he could do right there. He could not get off Jake's truck, and that's basically all they do. They're just for a ride right there. And Jake unfortunately hit that wall pretty hard, and that was just a vicious wreck right there for both Jake and Seth.
Now, I guess that the saving grace was that both these drivers were running back pretty close to the tail end of the field because really when they hit the wall, no momentum went off of those cars, and if they were running up front, they could have shot back up, collected a few other drivers.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about at the beginning of the race. With not as much of the field, we only have about 19, so we had like a full field last season. And thinking about that, I mean, if that would have been that this season, there probably would have been half the field taken out if that would have happened.
Yeah, very likely. Fortunately, just a two-truck incident involving the Season 1 Oreo Truck Series champion Jake Rogers as well as Seth Cole, who won at Rockingham last season. Looks like we're going to have some DNFs after this first caution of the day as we'll head back to green flag racing. Getting ready to go back under the green flag as they are currently on the back straightaway. Pit stops went on during that caution flag, and Matthew Rodriguez was the first one off of pit road in front of Anthony McCurry, Sean Galligan, Rod Houston, and the fan vote winner, Charles Jackson, is now up to fifth. We'll give you the full field rundown in just a minute. Of course, the two drivers out of the race are Jake Rogers and Seth Cole, but these
Oh,
drivers they did have to make a pit stop during this event. Was it wise to do it early on?
um, I think they just want to do that to make sure to see how the tire wear was. I think it was just a precaution for a lot of these teams. They're probably going to have to pit one more time, definitely. Maybe they're betting on another caution happening sometime between now and say like lap 15, maybe to try it somewhere in their fuel window. So maybe it was just strategy to see how the tire wear was, but we'll see what happens.
All right, let's quickly just go through 6th through 10th here. Sky Common 6th, Dylan Poteet currently in 7th, Nick Eggleston 8th, John Citadino in 9th, and Chris Dollarton is in 10th. Let's see where our picks are going to restart. Dylan's pick, James McLeod, going to restart in the 13th position. My pick, Nick Eggleston, starting up there in the top 10. I believe I said he was in 8th place. Oh, it looks like we're actually going to stay out for another lap here. Thought the lights were out atop the pace truck, but I guess not. So maybe we'll get the one to go this time. Yep, this time we got the one to go. So we'll go back to green actually on lap 8 of 20. So that gives us a little opportunity to kind of think forward in this race. One thing that I did notice was a lot of drivers, they would be leading on the final lap, and somehow they were able to play enough defense to be able to keep the lead for an entire lap. This track looks like it's impossible to do that. How are they able to master the mirror driving as far as keeping the lead?
Well, I mean, some of these drivers have been here before and they know how to work with the draft and everything and cut people off and with their draft. And when you're up front, you have pretty much a lot of freedom to do what you want, and maybe you can maneuver and kind of manipulate where the lines are going to go, and you kind of can cut the draft. It allows you to stay up front longer. So these leaders are starting to figure it out pretty quickly, and I wouldn't be surprised if Matt does the same thing on this restart.
We got an opportunity here too for quite a few teammates to maybe hook up. We got Bob Jones, John Citadino, they're here. We've also got Charles Jackson and Anthony McCurry, as well as Danica Shirley. Sean Galligan's lost his drafting partner now with Jake Rogers going behind the wall, but you got the 14 of Matthew Rodriguez and the 39 of Jacob Cook. I was talking to Trent Dunham in our last NSRA interview, and he said that a lot of times here at this track, you don't get that much of an opportunity to work with your teammate. Basically, your friends are where you find them. Do you think that now, in this case, with it being the All-Star race, these drivers are going to be more prone to try and find their teammates, or are they just basically going to work with whoever they can?
Well, I mean, if the opportunity is given, they'll try to work with their teammates, but I'm not as likely thinking they're going to. I mean, it is an all-star race, and it's on the line just a win. And so when it comes down to it, it's every man for himself. They'll find alliances now, but I'm telling you, when it's under 3 to go, those alliances are going to get cut off pretty quick.
Well, here we go. Matthew Rodriguez, a former NNSCRA Oreo Truck Series champion, going to lead them down here back to green on lap 8 of 20. We've already had our first caution. Are these guys going to be a little bit more cautious on what kind of moves they make, or are they just going to go all out again? Now we're trying to see if we can connect again with Dylan Poteet as they're coming here out of turn number 2.
Sorry about that.
That's all right.
But what you were saying, though, looks like it's going to be a good run on this restart and everything. Matt's going to try to keep the lead, but I don't think he's going to keep it that long.
Rod Houston there on that inside line. Now this track, this track is very unusual. It's like a restrictor plate track, but it can bring in all sorts of different track scenarios into this race. So does anybody in this field have any kind of clear advantage? Some drivers win at restrictor plate tracks, some drivers win at short tracks, but is there any particular advantage to any kind of driver depending on where they've won this season?
I don't really think so. I think anybody has an opportunity to win on these restricted plate races. We've seen it in real life. We've seen it on here. We've seen it everywhere. Really, anybody has a chance to win on these races. If you're in the right place at the right time, anybody can be given an opportunity to win a race here.
Anthony McCurry, he was just out in front again. He looks like he's brought the exact same setup he used to get into this all-star race, because he is pretty doggone fast. He's been up front probably more than anybody.
Yeah, he's really kind of left off where he did in the open race. He's just staying up there. He's up at the front. He's trying to stay up there. He doesn't want to go back to the back. That's where the wreck started again. We saw that earlier, so looks like these drivers want to be in the front. In the middle is definitely not where you want to be right now in this field.
Now your pick, my pick, side by side along with Dom Capson. Looks like Jacob Cook's trying to get the run to make it 4 wide going here into turn number 1.
Yeah, this would have been a pretty cool way to have a fun little finish right there with our 2 picks, but it usually doesn't work out for us. Usually we don't pick the right people, and they usually get mad at us afterwards. So.
Yeah, I actually, when I saw Jake Rogers and Seth Colwreck, I was thinking to myself, oh, please don't let it be someone that I picked, because I think last year, I think you and I in our picks in all 3 All-Star races, I think we were a grand total of 0 for 6. I think basically all of our drivers we picked ended up wrecking.
Yeah, between the people not being happy we picked them and our horrible picking skills, wouldn't surprise me if we went 0 for 6 again this season. Hopefully one of us can pick one of the winners. That would be a first for both of us.
Well, right now, you're sitting pretty as far as your pick. James McLeod out in front and pretty much dominating right now as the battle is on for second between John Cittadino and Dylan Poteet. I did notice one driver was off the pace right there, the 11 of Bob Jones. I'm not really sure what's going on with him. He is up to speed, but I don't see, well, I see a little bit of damage there currently on the left rear of his car. Something must have happened to him, but I didn't see anything go on with the FedEx Toyota.
He might have got hooked by somebody. He might have got in the wall or something. There's a good possibility in that he just happened to lose the draft. He might be up to speed. He'll have to get a caution for us to find out if he is or not, but tough break for Bob Jones, definitely for that 11 team.
You know, I do remember a little bit of prior history back at this track. Sometimes drivers get hooked off of turn number 2. They go down, they get the inside retaining wall, but they're able to keep it going. That doesn't bring out a caution. That may have been exactly what happened to Bob Jones there, because it looked like all damage, if any, was on the left side.
Yeah, whenever the camera got closer to his truck, I did see and notice that the driver's side door was heavily damaged, so there's a good possibility he got turned off this corner up here and hit the wall, and that's a tough break for that 11 truck.
So he's
looks like he had a good truck today, too.
Yeah, he did. He was up there for a while, and now that kind of puts John Cittadino in jeopardy if he's going to try and find his teammate to work with him at the end. Jacob Cook's going down to the bottom now on the 39. A lot of drivers in this field that, quite honestly, at the beginning of the season, I didn't think we were going to see them here in the All-Star race. Jacob Cook is one of them. Really hasn't made a big impact in the truck series, and right now running very well in that 39.
Yeah, like I said, a lot of these drivers, this is an opportunity to showcase what they can do. It doesn't really reflect mostly on their season, because a lot of these have struggled throughout the season, but they did get a win to get them in here. So, I mean, this is a good opportunity to show off their driving skills and show that they can actually compete with the best drivers in the series.
I'll tell you what, I'm almost wondering if we should have reconsidered our pick. Anthony McCurry appears to be the dominant truck of the day right now. He slips back, but then about 2 laps later, you see him right back up at the front again. I have a strong feeling he may end up being the car to beat here. Matthew.
Yeah, Anthony's starting to really make us fight our words and everything, or eat our picks and everything, because he's just staying up here just continuing to come straight back to the front. Every time he gets up there, if he falls back, he's right back up there a lap later.
Now, is there something here? I mean, Anthony McCurry, obviously, with winning the open race, he knows how to be able to get to the front at the right time. Could this be some strategy that he knows about, that he has to get to the front at a certain time, fall back at a certain time, in order to have it equal out to him being in the right place at the right time on the final lap?
I think it is. I think he's really working and figuring out right now what he has to do to get back to the front. He falls back, and then he instantly knows about when to come back to the front. So I think he's really strategizing maybe a last lap move or something, or be in position to get up there and lead coming into the closing stages of this race.
We've got a battle for the lead right now between Matthew Rodriguez and Dylan Poteet, but one driver I've noticed after the pit stops really has not been the same, and that's Sean Galligan. He was leading us under our first caution, then after the pit stops restarted third, and we haven't really seen him up at the front of the field yet. I don't know if this is just strategy, or maybe there was some adjustment they made on the truck that just is not handling to his liking.
Yeah, there's really no telling right now what's going on with that 2 truck right now. He was up at the front, he was running good until that caution came out for his teammate Seth Cole, and I don't know, it could be strategy, it could be something with the truck being adjusted. We don't really know for sure, but he definitely doesn't look like the same truck as before the caution.
Here's the fan vote winner, Charles Jackson. He's now moved his way up into the top 5, and I can't remember. I don't think we have ever had a fan vote winner win an all-star race here in the NNSCRA, and Jackson now suddenly come up. Oh my goodness, he nearly turned Sky Commons.
Yeah, he got a little antsy up there, and he's trying to do something his favorite driver did before, Casey Kane. He's trying to pull a Casey Kane. It's going to be pretty hard for him to do that, but there's still a chance for that 29 truck to do it.
Meanwhile, inside line trying to kick in again. I saw a few drivers down there. Maggie Vedarvu, James McLeod, Chris Dollerton trying to come up to the front. And this race is winding down awfully quickly. We got only 5 laps to go. Basically, I guess you can say it's go time. These drivers have to start making their moves to be in the right spot.
Yeah, I mean, these drivers, they've been working with people. They've figured out what's exactly going to happen when you get to the front, how far you fall back. I think they're starting to figure out, like Anthony McCurry, what they have to do to stay up front and be there when the race is about to end.
Wow, did you see the run that Maggie Vedarvu and Chris Dollerton got heading into turn 3? Those two, they were nose to tail, and they got some good speed going into that corner.
Yeah, they really did. That was pretty surprising. Maybe they're trying to practice something out to help each other at the end of this race as well. Cars looking up like that could really be a difference maker in the end of this race.
Yeah, Chris Dollerton, he is currently the last driver to win an Oreo Truck Series points-paying race, as he won at Supercell last week. So, you know, that can be a little bit of momentum for a driver.
Yeah, I mean, he came off a win last week, and that was a last-minute victory to get himself in this. So, Darlington's definitely going to try to get up there and try to win this and try to show that he can win again.
Wow, I'll tell you, one driver who's just making me nervous every time I look back and see him. That's the 20 of John Cittadino. When I looked back one time, he and Nick Eggleston nearly bounced off each other, and just there, John Cittadino nearly bounced off of Danica Shirley. So that driver, man, he's just getting squeezed here and there, and boy, he's in a hornet's nest.
Yeah, he's also lost his teammate, so he's basically on his own trying to find somebody to work with, and a lot of drivers aren't really playing nice to him right now. They're almost banging into the 20 truck so many times. I don't know exactly why, but he's kind of out there a lone man right now trying to find some help.
Yeah, speaking of teammates, I was just going to say the 1439 working together. Well, that went out the window. Jacob Cook now going to the bottom of his teammate Matthew Rodriguez.
Like I said, though, they act like they work together, and when it gets down to it, it's all about winning. So I think it's what Jacob Cook's doing right now. He's like, sorry, Matt Rod, I'm going to the lead.
Nick Eggleston now, he's got Charles Jackson, and this is kind of a race where, you know, we talked about not working with teammates very much. You can end up working with a guy who maybe you've rubbed wrong a certain race before, and before you know it, they're actually your teammate as you're working together to try to get to the front.
Yeah, I mean, anybody could work with any other truck in this race. I mean, when you want to get to the front, you'll hook up with almost anybody to get there. So I wouldn't be surprised to see rivals work together and get to the front. I mean, anybody get up there and work together, they'll do it.
2 laps to go, and I've definitely been keeping my eye on that yellow and green Chevrolet Silverado of Anthony McCurry. He's now made his way down to the bottom of the racetrack at the back of this pack. I really want to see if his strategy is going to work here, because we got 1.5 laps to go. Nick Eggleston currently out in front, but here comes Charles Jackson to the bottom.
And Jackson's kind of making a run right here at the end. He's trying to do what his teammate Anthony McCurry is doing, trying to get up there right at the right time, try to challenge and win this race.
Comes some rookies on the bottom. Maggie Vedarvu, Rod Houston. Maybe some, I don't know, some rookie respect between those two. As here we go, white flag is in the air. It's Jackson, Vedarvu, Rod Houston, Eggleston, and Dollerton. That is the top 5. And, oh, McCurry got moved into the middle, so that may not work out in his best interest, and Jackson's going to try and throw the block.
Jackson's trying to do everything he can right now. He wants to make that truck 10 lanes wide if he can to try to hang on to that lead.
Rod Houston's got the lead, but here comes Chris Dollerton. He's going to go 3 wide for the lead. Big run on the inside, and Sky Commons is going to go 4 wide.
Wow, look at this racing. Holy cow.
Oh my goodness, they're going to go for it here. Oh boy, this is going to be good. Oh my goodness, Chris Dollerton tried to block him here. Sky Commons, and look at Anthony McCurry. He's back to the inside.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my goodness.
Anthony McCurry.
Out of turn 4 for the final time. Dollerton, Commons, Anthony McCurry, drag race. Who is it going to be?
Whoa.
The rookie Sky Commons gets it done.
Wow.
Oh my goodness, it was
What a
4
finish.
wide at the line between Dollerton, Commons, McCurry, and McLeod.
My pick almost won. Sorry, James.
Wow.
Holy crap.
That was incredible. Sky Commons, a rookie
Came out
this
of nowhere
season.
and just won that.
Yes, he did. He won this season, got into this by winning at Atlanta. That also was a come out from out of nowhere finish for him. And he now is an all-star race winner in the Oreo Truck Series. That was awfully, awfully close. I think we got to take a look at a replay of that finish. Well, here it is. Here was the race to the line. And, boy, I'll tell you what. Sky Commons had to basically do it on his own. It was about 2 car lengths back to Maggie Veydarovu, his drafting partner.
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty surprising. It probably came more into side drafting that really paid off for Sky Commons to win this race. He had Chris Dollerton to his outside, and he used it to his advantage, and that was about all the drafting help he had. And somehow he pulled that victory out of nowhere and just won that by 4 wide. That's just crazy.
That is crazy. And look at the finish between Anthony McCurry and Chris Dollerton. I think McCurry got second just barely, but that was awfully close for that position.
Well, at least my draft pick made it in the photo finish.
That's true. Sorry,
My-
Nick Eggleston.
Sorry, James, too. You were that close. So close.
Oh,
so far
my.
away.
That was absolutely incredible. Sky Commons, what an unbelievable job. Let's take a look here at the official finishing results. 44 100ths of a second. That's the how close that was. And then it was 45 100ths of a second for Chris Dollerton. So it was only 1,000th of a second between Anthony McCurry and Chris Dollerton for second place.
Yeah, the Talladega and the Darlington finish in real life had nothing on that, if that would have been for the win.
No doubt about it. That would have been probably, I would think, the closest finish in an all-star race in NNSCRA history.
You know, actually, that reminds me. I think it was an Indy race or something. There was some kind of open wheel race yesterday at Indy that had a 4 wide finish. It looks just almost like it, except the outside car won in that race. But that's just crazy, and irony of that happening a day later is just crazy. It was almost just like this finish.
You know, we were talking about at the beginning of the race about the rookies. Sky Commons wins, but look who finishes in the rest of the top 5. All veterans in McCurry, Dollerton, McLeod, and Rodriguez. So Sky Commons definitely earned the win.
Yeah, I figured those rookies would have been up there working together, but they all started falling to the back, and Scott Commons managed to get up there and be there at the right place at the right time. I'm telling you, that 27 truck, if there was one more lap, I really think Anthony McCurry would have won this race.
I think he very well could have. I couldn't believe that he ended up finding that line down on the inside there coming into turn 3. I thought once he got moved in the middle, he was toast and was just going to start slipping back, but somehow, some way, he found his way back to the bottom and nearly made it a sweep here in the Truck Series.
And like I said at the very beginning of the race, I said I wouldn't be surprised if a rookie won this race, and somehow Scott Commons pulled it off and made me not look stupid.
There you go. Well, we only had 2 DNFs here, too, which is rather surprising. Jake Rogers and Seth Cole. Bob Jones, of course, ended up having problems. I'm pretty sure he got turned off turn 2, but kept it going. That didn't bring out a caution. So, you know, amazingly enough, a relatively calm race here in this 20-lap event.
Yeah, and it's a good thing to see. We don't get to see this that often on these restrictor plate races, and when you see this happen, this is what kind of happens. It brought up a good finish and great racing we had. There was a lot of lead changes, and really, honestly, we did not know who was going to win until basically at the line, which was pretty incredible.
Yeah, I mean, this kind of a track, I mean, sometimes drafting partners come into play, sometimes they don't. And apparently here, it didn't really come into play with needing to help Sky Commons get across the stripe, and that was an absolutely unbelievable race right there, and big congratulations to Sky Commons.
Yeah, big congratulations, Sky, for that victory. It was a great race.
Well, if Sky Commons ends up coming back in Season 6. He'll already have himself a ticket into the Season 6 Oreo Truck Series All-Star Race, so congratulations to him on that. And Dylan, want to thank you for that, but we still got more coming. We got Mobile and Snickers races coming up.
Oh boy, I need a nap.
And no flips this time, unfortunately.
Oh, it's
Hey.
only 10 o'clock in the morning here, and I'm still waiting for a flip to wake me up.
Hey, who knows? Maybe we'll have one in Mobile and Snickers Cup.
If I keep saying that, I'm going to be the one flipping.
And every one of the Mobile and Snickers Cup Series drivers watching this are down there rubbing their rabbits' feet and holding their four-leaf clover saying, please don't let it be me, please don't let it be me.
I actually just want it to be me.
That's because you're strange.
What?
That's because you're strange.
Why?
Alright guys, so we hope you enjoyed today's race. If you did, be sure to give this video a like. Subscribe to become part of the crew today. Also be sure to subscribe to Dylan Tay22, Dylan Poteet. I'll put the link to his channel in the description if I feel like it. And we and we will see you guys here for Mobile and Snickers Cup Series All-Star Racing here on the NNSCRA. I can't even say my acronym. I need to take a nap too.
NNSCRA Sports Channel, off on racing at its best.
And here comes a picture of Dylan.